In 1948, a nation appeared overnight, 700,000 fled, and endless wars began. The shocking origin story will truly surprise you. To understand how Israel was created, go back long before 1948, back when this land was just another province of a dying empire. For 400 years, the Ottoman Empire ruled this land. Jews, Muslims, Christians lived side by side. Not perfectly, but they lived. Then everything changed. In Europe, Jews faced violent persecution, pogroms in Russia, discrimination everywhere. A movement was born, Zionism, the dream of a Jewish homeland. Theodor Herzl wrote The Jewish State. He said Jews need their own country. The ancient homeland? Palestine. Jews started buying land and moving there. The people already living there? Arabs. They watched newcomers arrive. They watched land being bought. Their world was about to collapse. Then came World War I. The Ottomans lost. Britain took control of Palestine. And Britain made promises, conflicting promises. This is where it gets complicated. 1917, the Balfour Declaration. Britain promised Zionists a national home in Palestine, but also promised Arabs independence elsewhere. Two peoples, one land. Britain didn't own Palestine, they just controlled it. They told Jews, come here, told Arabs, don't worry. Both sides felt betrayed from the beginning. Here's what most videos won't tell you. Both sides have legitimate claims. Both have trauma. But how Israel was created? It wasn't clean. It wasn't fair. Through the 20s and 30s, more Jews arrived, fleeing Europe, fleeing Hitler. Arabs saw their land shrinking. Riots broke out. Britain tried to stop immigration. Then the Holocaust. 6 million Jews murdered. The world said never again. Survivors had nowhere to go. They boarded ships for Palestine. Britain turned them away. By 1947, Jews owned about 6% of the land. They were 1/3 of the population. But they were organized. They had armies. They had a plan. Britain gave up, handed the problem to the UN. UN proposed partition, split Palestine into two states, one Jewish, one Arab. The Jews said yes. The Arabs said no. Why? They were the majority. They owned most of the land. Why give half to newcomers? They rejected partition completely. War was coming. Wait. Stop. You think this is just about Jews versus Arabs? No. 3 things you've never considered change everything. Stick with me. First, the Cold War. Both America and the Soviet Union voted for partition. They wanted influence. They both armed the Jews. The Arabs had no superpower backing. Second, oil. The West needed Arab oil, so they publicly supported Arabs while secretly helping Jews. Double game, double betrayal. Everyone played everyone. Third, preparation. The Jewish community was ready. Armies, weapons, veterans from World War II. The Arabs were divided, disorganized, and overconfident. May 14th, 1948, David Ben-Gurion declared the State of Israel. Independence. The dream was real, but the nightmare was just beginning. The next day, 5 Arab armies invaded. Egypt, Jordan, Syria, Iraq, Lebanon. They said, drive the Jews into the sea. Israel had hours to survive. But Israel fought back. Desperate, nowhere else to go. When fighting ended, Israel controlled more land than the UN planned. Much more. And the Arabs? 700,000 Palestinians fled or were expelled. They became refugees. In Jordan, Lebanon, Syria, they're still refugees today. The wound never healed. The Arab state the UN planned? Never created. West Bank went to Jordan. Gaza went to Egypt. Palestinians got nothing. Their Arab brothers failed them too. Here's the tragedy. 2 peoples with legitimate claims. One got a state, the other got nothing. The world's been fighting ever since, but there's a twist. While Palestinians fled Palestine, Jews fled Arab countries. 800,000 Jews left Morocco, Iraq, Egypt, Yemen. They lost everything too. 2 refugee crises, one forgotten. Both sides had refugees, both suffered. But one side got absorbed into a new country. The other stayed in camps for generations. Political weapons. By 1949, fighting stopped. Armistice lines drawn. No peace treaties, just ceasefires. Jerusalem divided. Israel existed, Palestine didn't. Everyone waited. 1956, 1967, 1973, 1982. Intifadas. 1967 changed everything. Israel won in 6 days, captured West Bank, East Jerusalem, Gaza, Golan, Sinai. Suddenly Israel was an occupier. The conflict became today's. Then settlements. Jews moved into captured territories, some for religion, some for security, some for ideology, Palestinians saw their land shrinking again.
There were peace attempts, Camp David, Oslo, roadmap, handshakes, then violence. Each time hope, each time failure. Extremists sabotaged every chance.
Why does peace fail? Both sides believe they're right. Both have trauma, both have fears, and both have people who profit from conflict. War is good business. Today, Israel thrives. High-tech, democracy, strong military. Gaza is a prison, West Bank occupied. Two worlds, kilometers apart, completely separated. Most Israelis born after 1948. Most Palestinians born refugees. Neither chose this. Both are trapped. The world watches, takes sides, and does nothing. So how was Israel created? Through war, refugees, great power politics, Jewish trauma, Arab rejection, Palestinian suffering, Israeli determination, all of it.
The land changed. The names changed. The people didn't. They're still there. Both of them. Still fighting over the same small piece of earth.
No simple answer. No good guys and bad guys. Just history. Tragic, complicated human history. Until both sides understand the other's story, peace will fail. 1948 wasn't the beginning, not the end. Just one moment in a conflict that started long before and continues today. Understanding that moment, first step. I want to hear from you. Should Israel have been created? Could it have been done differently? Comment below, real conversation. No hate, just history. Want to understand more? Click the video on screen now. The 6-Day War, the war that created today's Middle East. You won't believe what happened. Before we go, let me ask you something. Have you ever wondered why this tiny piece of land matters so much? The answer lies in 3 ancient promises. For Muslims, this land is holy too. The Dome of the Rock, Al-Aqsa Mosque, where Muhammad ascended to heaven. For them, losing this land is losing part of their soul. Third, Christians revere this land as the birthplace of their faith. Jesus walked here, died here, rose here. For billions of believers, this is the holiest place on earth. 3 religions, 1 tiny land. All believe God gave it to them. How do you compromise when God is on your side? You don't. That's why this conflict is different. But let's go even deeper. Before Islam, before Christianity, before modern Judaism, this land had kingdoms. Israel, Judah. They were conquered, scattered, but never forgotten.
The Romans destroyed Jerusalem in 70 AD, killed millions, scattered the rest. For 2,000 years, Jews lived in exile, but they always prayed, next year in Jerusalem. Then Muslims conquered Jerusalem in 637 AD. They built shrines, they ruled for centuries. Arabs lived here generation after generation. They too called this land home. So who's right? The Jews who never stopped dreaming of return? The Arabs who lived here for centuries? Both. That's the tragedy. 2 rights colliding. One land can't hold both. The UN tried to solve this in 1947. They failed. Every peace plan since failed. Because you can't split history. You can't split faith. You can't split 4,000 years of longing. Today in Jerusalem, you can see it all. Jews at the Western Wall, Muslims at the Dome, Christians at the Holy Sepulchre. All praying, all believing, all waiting. Maybe peace isn't about who's right. Maybe it's about acknowledging both sides are right. Both have suffered. Both have dreams. Until that happens, the fighting continues. I've seen drawings from Israeli children and Palestinian children. They draw the same things: houses, trees, families. They don't draw hatred. They learn it. We teach them. There are people on both sides working for peace. They're called traitors by extremists, but they're the real heroes. They know the only victory is coexistence. So here's my question to you. If you were born Palestinian in a refugee camp, would you give up your right to return? If you were born Israeli after the Holocaust, would you give up your security? There are no easy answers. There's just history, and history isn't over yet. The next chapter? That depends on us, on what we teach our children, on what we choose to believe.